Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi!
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
So, I don't know about you guys, but I'm still living off the high of what I saw Tuesday night in the People's House. Yes, I got screwed. Amtrak canceled my train early Tuesday morning. There was Mike Lawler and Nicole Maliotakis holding my ticket to the State of the Union that I never used. But I watched it, every second of it, slept 2 hours that night till even the post-game midnight. And for me, Sid Rosenberg, that was the best 2 hours I've ever seen. And that's saying a lot because this guy has already distinguished himself as the best speaking president ever. I don't need Kilmeade or Bill O'Reilly, real historians, to tell me that or agree with me. I'm telling you he is. He is. And he was at his best on Tuesday night. But it only took 2 days for me to get upset with a man that I love and adore. He knows that. And I texted him yesterday. So he knows I'm upset, okay? He reads my text. The mayor of New York City, once again in that Oval Office, it was hard enough to hear President Trump call him a nice guy, the communist nice guy Tuesday night, but there they are mugging again in Trump's office yesterday. And I have a really bad feeling that the greatest deal maker of all time, I know Brian's going to argue this, that the greatest deal maker of all time is being taken. No, he's playing chess. He's playing chess. I don't see it. You know, Mamdani is still critical of everything Trump cares about. He doesn't care about the Jews. He's shown time and time again the last couple of weeks. He doesn't care about the cops. He cares about housing. I get that. But I don't see him making any concessions or changing any of his rhetoric when it comes to stuff that President Trump, Sid Rosenberg, and Brian Kilmeade care about. So with that said, here he is, does an amazing job following me each and every morning, 10 a.m. here on 77 WABC, part of the Fox and Friends crew, and his own show. It's the best show on Fox News, 10 p.m. Sunday nights, One Nation. My friend Brian Kilmeade. Brian, you heard me? Thoughts?
A couple of things. Number one, that's so interesting that they would allow you back. They threw you out last time.
They did. Yeah, but don't forget, that was a Democrat president, Joe Biden.
Oh, sorry.
Right. Now we got Trump. He's my friend. So, yes, they allowed me back, but I still could make it.
I could see you end up with fighting Ilhan Omar or screaming back at her when she lost her mind. I mean, there would have been some type of incident, but you'll be back next year, and so will the president. It was a really great address, and I think he got back on the offensive after Friday's stunning ruling in the Supreme Court. Not stunning, but certainly jarring ruling the Supreme Court, and I think he's back on the offensive. I was able to walk over there Wednesday, and meet with him for about 2 hours. And just kind of took a slice, I would say hour and 15 minutes, took kind of a slice of his life, and I've never seen him happier personally. And I'm talking about dating back to days when he was promoting Tyson fights. And wow. He is just on top of the moon, and he wants to keep going 100% of the time. So I do think that the Mamdani thing is interesting. So look, Mamdani wants all this money to build this affordable housing. All right, federal government might be able to help. Know what he needs? He needs something back. The president's deal maker. I need some cooperation with ICE. We saw what happened in Brooklyn last night. ICE goes in to get an illegal immigrant, overstayed his visa. We don't know really the background. And then the whole, without any cops to back up, everybody goes after the ICE agents. So he said simply say, hey, you want your affordable housing? I'm going to need Eric Adams-like cooperation with ICE.
Yeah, but he's asked the mayor for that already, and time again at every opportunity when Good died, when Preddy died, the mayor called Trump's administration evil. He calls ICE evil. So what do you mean? All of a sudden now, Mamdani's going to change his rhetoric because he wants housing?
No,
he's had opportunity.
No, very simple.
Yeah.
Well, very simple, Sid. You just say, hey, I understand it. You know what? I know that area. It sounds good. They should be able to build it there. Let me see about the money, number one. Number two is I'm going to need something back. So very simple. Change your rhetoric, whatever you want to say publicly. This is what I'm going to need. I'm going to need access to your prisons. I'm going to need this, and start making a deal. So you could make a deal with the other side. You saw Gretchen Whitmer come out and praise the president the other day and say, look, she cited off 12 different factories and businesses that have come to Michigan. And she said, I got to praise President Trump for this. That's pretty cool. So maybe, I'm telling you, I don't think he's just going to give it to him. I am surprised that he helped her out. He helped Mamdani out yesterday when it came to that Columbia student that was being deported or pulled off campus by ICE. They said, can you help her out? And he did. He called him off. She's still going to get her hearing, but she's allowed to stay for now. So he's already helped him out. My hope is the president understands I'm going to need something. Because I don't know, who else is he just giving things to?
Nobody. That's why this whole thing is very strange to me, because it's been going on, this bromance, for months, and Mamdani's the same guy. He still hates ICE and the cops. And by the way, that girl from Colombia, she's one of 5 that he wants out, including a pro-Palestinian, I believe, who's being detained. And Trump has already said, let me take a look at it. So I don't see Mamdani doing anything for Trump. Again, he's still anti-ICE. Look what's happened the last couple of weeks with the cops. First, a couple of weeks ago, this maniac, knife-wielding guy goes after a cop. Mamdani goes to visit the bad guy in the hospital and then begs my friend, DA Melanie Katz, to not charge him. And then a couple of days ago, that whole snowball incident, you got Jessica Tisch who wants to kill herself. You know that. And Trump loves the cops. He loves the NYPD. I keep testing President Trump. Look what he's doing to our cops. There was no talk about that yesterday. Why not?
Okay, I don't have the answer, but I know you can get it. Get it today. I mean, get it today, and your audience is going to find out. And you know what? I want to find out about a few things too. And he said to give him a call, so I'm going to try to find out too. Between both of us, we'll find out what the other side to this story is. But I don't think this. What I like to is when the Trump era is done or after this, I no longer want to hear Democrat or Republican. I want to see deals cut. I'm tired of. Wait for your guy to get in power, get everything the best you can. My guy gets in power, I prosecute everybody, and I try to get everything the best you can without 60 votes in the Senate, reconciliation. This whole cycle's not working. So I like the idea of messing with people and saying, I'm going to go and do a deal with them. And I like the idea in the big picture. I think it's going to make our shows a lot better and more interesting, except for one party's in power, one complains, and the other party's in power, the other one complains. I think it makes it much more interesting of a time. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt so far and just say, what is the deal with Mamdani? Because it's also hurting New Yorkers who want to run against Mamdani and run against his socialist principles. They're like, oh, wait a second, Bruce Blakeman's going to have trouble getting traction because Mamdani could go, I'm friends with the president. He's got no problem with my policies. And Hochul can say the same thing.
That's a very good point that Peter King made to me yesterday, and he loves Trump just like you and I do, that the president may not realize this, but he's undermining Bruce Blakeman in his run for governor. Let me move to Iran. I love watching your show, but I also watch stuff because I hate watch it. And I hate watched that whole interview between two people who I used to like. I like one a little bit now, one not at all. That's Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson. And Carlson, talked about his interview that he did when he lied about being detained by the Israelis with Ambassador Mike Huckabee. He basically made the point that this is not about Iranian weapons. This is about Israeli ambition. Because Huckabee did say at one point during the interview, we could take it all. He didn't say we will, we want to. We don't want Jordan. We don't want Egypt. We don't want Iraq. But yeah, we can take it all. So Tucker keeps making the point, this is about Israel's ambition to take over the whole Middle East and President Trump and America right with them in that ambition. It's not about nuclear weapons. What are your thoughts on what Tucker Carlson, as he continues to yell and scream, "I'm not an anti-Semite"?
I'm in a tough spot because I'm friends with Tucker, but I don't agree with anything he's been doing for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. I watched that interview, listened to the interview, and they're impossible arguments to make. Imagine if I'm arguing with you and I go, I'm just saying, Sid, that maybe Jews are bad. I'm not saying they are, but maybe they are. I mean, that's the type of argument you have. So I don't get it. This has nothing to do. Israel will benefit if Iran is no longer trying to kill them. I'm going to give you that. But do you understand, as Naftali Bennett, who might be the next prime minister, said to me yesterday, he goes, do you know Donald Trump? Do you think that he would get bullied into doing anything that wasn't in the best interest of America? Do you think he would fight a war for Israel that wasn't in the best interest for America? Do you understand that they look at us as the great Satan? They're the little Satan. Do you understand that they've said, Grand Ayatollah, the Ayatollah Khomeini, that death to America isn't a slogan, it's a policy? And he's still saying this crap last week? And they're building nuclear weapons plants in the sides of a mountain. You don't do that unless you're hiding something. So do you understand that they're still trying to assassinate President Trump? Come on, what is wrong with you? This is not a Israel-Jewish issue, but you cannot have any semblance of peace with these people in power, because as soon as the sanctions are relieved, they're going to give it right to Hezbollah and Hamas. Is it in Israel's interest not to have them funded? Yes, but they also, beginning in 1983, have been killing Americans. So that is what's in our interest. So if people can't see the big picture on the extreme right and on the left, it's on them. Trump knows he's the only one that can do this. And Tucker wants to see him on Monday. But Trump gets it. He wants to hear all sides. He's not going to take, Tucker, I don't agree with you, don't come visit me. But he's not taking policy initiatives from J.D. Vance, and he's not taking it from Tucker. He's taking it from his military and from the CIA. And you can't like Trump and not understand he is not stupid. He knows who the experts are, and he also studies conflict. He's got the same thing since you and I were in 5th and 6th grade. Iran's been a problem. He knows he's the guy to fix it, and he knows the next man or woman won't. So that's why I think this is going to get done.
I think you're right about meeting with people, too. I mean, my wish is that he would never meet with Mamdani. I know he's the mayor of our city, but I hate him. Or Tucker. I mean, if I found out today that President Donald J. Trump wrote an executive order that I can't meet with Mamdani or Tucker Carlson ever again, I think I would be celebrating in the streets. Okay, a lot of other stuff to talk about. The Epstein stuff, they're going to testify. Bill Clinton will testify today. Jim Comer got nowhere with Hillary Clinton yesterday. She said, hey, ask my husband. And people are still angry at the hockey team for some reason. I don't get all that. But let's get right to it. We're 2 days away from the best show on Fox News, 10 p.m. Sunday nights. One Nation. What can we expect to see, Brian Kilmeade, on Sunday night?
I'm telling you exactly what I just feel about Iran, and H.R. McMaster will be joining me, military historian, former national security advisor. He got a mulligan from CBS to help me out. He's going to be joining me. I'm going to have James Galliano. He used to work the Mexican beat with the cartels. I want to find out how big a deal this is, as well as with Cuba. Charlie Shimkus is going to be with us. And I'm going to tell you stuff that can get done in immigration. We're not going to talk wall. I'm not going to talk ICE. I'm going to have Mike Lawler on with me about his dignity plan. And then Michael Wiles, America's finest immigration attorney. He handles Melania Trump, handled John Lennon. I'm going to talk about things that can get done with immigration, but I am getting called to the set right now, Sid. So I got to go back, but I'm going to take over at the top of the hour. I promise to not drop the ball and let you down if you stay within yourself.
Yeah, I promise I will. Brian, you're amazing. I love you. Go have a great show. Yeah, Brian, look at this week this kid did. He filled in for Laura Ingraham this week. He hosts his own show, One Nation. He's on every weekday morning on Fox and Friends. He spent an hour and a half alone with President Trump. This is my friend Brian Kilmeade, and he does a great radio show, as he just mentioned, after me, each and every weekday morning at 10 right here on 77 WABC. All right, we got 3 more great hours to come. Some big guests, some of your favorites that include Emily Austin in studio, Joe Tacopina, and Jason Whitlock. It's the Friday edition of Sid and Friends in the morning.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially healthcare. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.